Aloha, everybody. This is Cathy Bilsky, the Quantum Leap Let Light Unite show on UPRN Radio, and this is Friday, March 11th, 2022. Well, tonight I am going to do what I'm going to call a fireside chat. I'm going to talk to you about some things that people don't discuss and some things that actually happened in my life. Before I get to that, I want to talk about also, this is the anniversary of Fukushima nuclear disaster. And if you don't remember that at all, it was 11 years ago. It's because nobody in the government's talking about it. They don't say a word about it. And it's been spitting radiation into the air for 11 years. Now, I am not going to give you a radiation update tonight. We're just going to say it's really high. So, we don't live in normal times. All reactors leak. And at the end of the show, what I want to do is to go over a few radiation tips of protection. Now, what I want to talk to you about tonight is something that happened in my life, and it's a little journey I had with the World Economic Forum. Now, this is something I really, rather not talk about. It is something that happened in my life, and the reason I'm doing it is to give you a little bit of an idea of how the World Economic Forum actually works and how they sucker people in or convince people to come into their club. And the World Economic Forum is head up by billionaires, and they get together in Davos once a year to decide what they're going to do with our lives. And I have to admit, before this incident happened, I didn't really know who they were or what they did or what they were about. So life's kind of humorous. So, I have to say, dark side, well, actually, they're Nazis in a nutshell. But dark side, they have a way of bringing things to my attention unintentionally. And this is one of them. Now, I was approached by the WEF through one of their members. And I'm not going to say who this person is because I don't want to get sued for slander or anything, even though everything I'm telling you is true. This guy is very important. He's very powerful. He has a lot of money and a lot of lawyers behind him. I don't. Now I'm going to share with you my story with him. And before I get into that, I want to give you some background about me. All right. I'm a year away from 70. I know I may not look it, but if there was a poster child for if you work with light, this is what you'll look like when you get old. You'll look younger than what you're supposed to. I'm it, guys. But no, I'm telling you that because I've been around. I've experienced love. I've experienced loss. I've experienced betrayal. I've lived life. I've traveled. I've been around. I have this very, very small store in this very small town of Honoka'a, Hawaii. And actually, you might think it's a little hole in the wall. It's not a gallery. It's very small, but I've learned to pack. Actually, I'm sitting in it. Pack a lot into a little, and the rent is great. But I just wanted to let you know, just to give you an idea, okay, this is what my life is. Very small store. I'm really a nobody. I have a rock shop. I do free pain and stress release. The rock shop allows me to give my gifts away for free, my spiritual gifts away for free. And I do my light and energy work. I'm not that social, although I do a radio show. I work on world enlightenment events, and every time we've done an event, it's been very, very successful. I think of light. That's what my life is. World enlightenment. It's stamped on my soul. And I've been working on that ever since I became an awakened spiritual being. That's what I do on this earth. So my mind doesn't go down that road of being betrayed by darkness. Why would it? I surround myself with people that are like mind and spiritual and wouldn't really betray me. I have a pretty nice life. Spirit takes care of me. If I need something, it's there. During the COVID experience, when they were forcing us to close our stores down, they were giving us a lot of money to stay closed. I made sure I took all that money and I paid off my bills. I'm in the best space I have ever been. I live in Hawaii. I have a great life. All right. So again, why would I think ever that anyone would come into my life from the WEF and do magic on me, try to recruit me for the WEF, which I really didn't understand what was happening until maybe this past month. And this has been going on for a year and a half. And I'm going to tell you my story. But you have to understand, I was also had magic done to me. And there was an overlay put on me. So when this person came into my life, all I could see was the good things about him. All right. Now, when I say I had a magical overlay put over me, the best way I can explain it is when you've seen that woman or that man get beat up by their partner, and everyone around can see what a bad relationship that is and how wrong that person is, really, that one person is really hurting that other person, but that person getting hurt can't see it. And after everybody, says their thing, she'll just turn around and go, I know, but he really loves me. Well, that wasn't quite what I experienced. Okay. But I did have an energy overlay, which allowed me to not see a lot that I should have during the time I was going through this. All right. So let me explain to you what happened. All right, a couple years ago, around my birthday, on my birthday, I went to see the dolphins and the tame dolphins. And it was an incredible experience. If anybody ever, wants to do it, they should do it. It's a once in a lifetime, magical experience. 45 minutes of pure joy where you can hug them and there's an energy exchange. It was the one of the best birthdays ever I had. And I was able to go because there were no tourists on the island because of COVID, and they were giving half price deals, which I took advantage of. So about 3 weeks later, I'm working in my store, and now like I said, I have a very small store in this very small town in the big island of Hawaii, and I make a lot of my product. So, this is during the COVID thing. I was open and no people. So I figured I'd go home and work on product. Now I have a sign on my store saying, look, if I'm not here, I'm 10 minutes away, call me. If I can come, I will. Well, when I'm working on my Angelite products, I was sanding and the phone rang. I never heard it. And then finally I was able to connect, and it was this man that came to my store, and he saw this big amethyst cave in my window, and he wanted to buy it, which I thought, cool. It was like $450. Awesome. I could use the money. This is COVID time. And then, we got to talking and over the phone. And I mentioned I had 3 of the caves, and he bought all 3. Awesome. Now, after we made the deal, and I just want to say, I hope I can get everything in succession. Everything I'm going to say is true, and hopefully it'll be in the correct order, but we'll see how good my memory is. Okay. So after he bought those, he kept writing to me saying, look, if I can find any big crystals, really big specimen crystals, to let him know. And he did that about 3 or 4 times. And truthfully, I don't know who this person is, just another customer to me, and I'm just going to blow it off. But after about the third or fourth time, he wrote, I really am interested in any big specimens you can find. I'm thinking, why would he come to me? I'm such a small store, but I do have these huge crystals in my life. I have 1,000-pound celestial earth keeper, which is the largest crystal in the Hawaii, and another one that's 650 pounds. So, all right, I'm able possibly to find big crystals. Well, in my mind, I started laughing because I said to myself, oh my God, this man has no idea what I can find. So I went to my suppliers and I just started, sending him and texting him all these pictures. Finally, he picked out some and it was the best. He's got good taste. But it ended up to be like a $20,000 order, which he sent me all the money through PayPal, which blew me away because I'm thinking, I really don't know this man. He's a brand new client of mine. He just bought something big and he's trusting me with this amount of money. God, I wonder if he checked me out. I don't know. But okay, whatever. Who is he? Now, while this was going on, I offered to take wherever he lived on the other side of the island the big amethyst crystals. Now, normally in my life, anybody who bought anything big from me in this store, they were delighted when I brought it over and delivered it to their house. And for me, normally they're on the other side of the island, which is the swimming side. So I get to go swimming at the same time I make a delivery, make money. But he didn't want that. Okay. He wouldn't let me come by his house. And all I could think of was, all right, well, that's really strange. So he finally sent his guy over, and I was able to say, who is this guy? Is he a nice guy? And he said, yeah, he was a little hard to work with, but he was, a nice person. And I went, okay. So finally, now that I really know who he is, I started looking him up on the internet and Googling him. And honest to God, anything I could find said nothing but wonderful things about him. And they even used a buzzword that would trigger me. And that word was enlightenment. They said that he was the most enlightened of all the billionaires. And my thought was, oh my God, an enlightened man. Maybe I can present him with world enlightenment. Maybe I could get him to help and we could really do this, pop the world into world enlightenment and get through this garbage. That would be awesome. So throughout the time, we would text and, he bought more stuff from me, which was really cool. And we started having this very platonic relationship and getting to know each other through texting. I guess that's the way of the world now. And as I was pitching him world enlightenment, he was testing me on what I thought about certain things. So he would send me information like, what do you think of the Great Reset and Klaus Schwab's book? I never knew who Klaus was until this man put this book before me. Thank you. So I was able to look at him and, I just don't take a person's book, but I go into their history. I do research. Klaus Schwab is a Nazi. And really, guys, if anybody ever come into my life again and said, Klaus Schwab is my mentor, I will run like the wind, throw salt over my shoulder, go get a cross and use garlic. Yeah, all right. But now remember, I've got magic on me. So, when I go, God, Klaus is a Nazi. How can you work with a Nazi? And I don't work with Nazi collaborators. I don't want to deal with you if you're a Nazi collaborator. And he said I was overreacting, which I found interesting because normally most men would run like the wind, and he didn't. But again, I had magic. And, so I thought, okay, well, maybe he's right. Maybe I am overreacting. I wasn't. I was spot on. And many times he would tell me how I was right most of the time. Well, if I think I was right on everything, except I didn't know who he really was and what he was really doing and how he was manipulating me. And oh my God, guys, I mean, I'm over being upset with being master manipulated. And I got to honor the guy. He was good. I mean, wow, he's very gifted. That's probably why he is where he is. I had no clue. It was slick. So now they're sending me money, and which I'm really grateful for because I paid off my car and now I'm debt free. So, when you're debt free, you look at life a little bit differently, and it is so much easier. And at my age, thank you, God, I appreciate being debt free. All right. So now he would go off on his little whatever vacations and send me pictures. And I would think, okay, why are you sending me pictures? This is nice. I mean, I like the area that you're in, and I'm sure you're having a great time, but this is COVID. I'm not vaxxed. I can't travel anywhere. And I've been around the world. I've seen beautiful places. I am so not envious of what you're doing. It's okay. If I have to get vaccinated to travel, I don't have to be there. But the pictures are pretty. And we would also have arguments on, he was into vaccines. Of course he is. He's a player. I'm not, because I'm not a player. And I can think for myself and do research. And I don't believe everything the government tells me. I know. I know. All right. Anyway, so we would have our strong discussions, and I get very passionate about things. Sometimes I can go what I call ghetto. He would call being passionate, which I like that better. But so I got very passionate. I would stand up for things. And, he would get firm and going, well, I'm for a vaccine, you're not. We'll have to agree to disagree. And he would always bring us back to a very neutral space, which I thought was awesome. I mean, I really felt that I met an equal, someone that I could really have an intense conversation that was brilliant. Oh, I don't care about his money. Oh my God, his mind. And he was showing me just the good stuff. So during the course of this, now this man also has some good qualities. He can have a human side. He showed that side to me. He showed me his soul. A couple Christmases ago, when all the businesses were shut down, I wrote him and asked, I go, can you do something for the businesses of the Big Island? And I made some suggestions, and he actually gave all the restaurants on the Big Island $3,000 at Christmas time to help them stay open. It has to do with food security. Now, he wouldn't do it with all the businesses. He said it wasn't possible. And I just stepped back and I'm thinking, nothing is impossible in your life if it's what you really want to do. But, I'll be grateful you helped the restaurants stay open. And that was a wonderful thing. He supplies the food banks here. He does a lot of good things on the island. I can't say he's not a nice person. He's very nice to me, super nice. No matter how mad I got at him, he was cool about it, but I didn't know he was working me. So he would send me, like the Great Reset, what I would think about that. And I would tell him. And then he would send me like the Fourth Revolution. And I would tell him what I thought, which wasn't very nice. And then he would send me the digital reset. And it's like, are you out of your mind? Um, and again, when you're having magic done, you don't see a lot of things. So I would keep presenting world enlightenment, world enlightenment. And finally, I said, okay, I'm going to do a world enlightenment event, and I put it out there. Now, this is called controlled opposition. And I didn't realize, again, what the World Economic Forum was to a degree and how he was tied to it, because Spirit didn't show me. If Spirit did, I never would have dealt business with him. I don't do business with Nazi collaborators, not knowingly. I don't want your business. It's tainted money. So, in all this time, I'm just seeing this incredible, wonderful guy. Whenever I was in trouble, I would write to him, ask him for help, and he would send me this incredible energy prayer. Yeah, ladies, you can get poems, but until you've had an energy prayer of protection sent your way, what can I say? And it was amazing. This is coming from this man's heart, his soul. Now, after I started World Enlightenment event, my dog disappeared one night. And I have this beautiful little Pomeranian, had her for 3 years. She's always at my side. She knows where she eats, where she gets her food. She's not going to leave me. And she disappeared one night. And I wrote him and I go, God, can you help me? With energy work. My dog has been stolen. She's gone. And I live out in the country. And he sent me this energy prayer. And I swear to God, as soon as I read it, my dog came running back to the back door, which I thought was pretty weird, interesting. But she came back. Now, I went to an animal communicator after that because I wanted to know what happened to her. And she said she was picked up by aliens. I know, this is my story. And this is what they said, that she was picked up by aliens who wanted to actually do body work on her. And that when he put out his prayer, they heard and brought it back. Who am I? It worked. I got her back. All is good. All is well. So, like I said, he's been very kind to me. And I kept pitching World Enlightenment. And there was even a time when I was going to quit because no one was helping. And he encouraged me to stick to it. Now, why? Why bother, right? Controlled opposition. And then I would get discouraged. And I tried to put a website together. And I'm sorry, I'm not skilled that way. What would take a pro, an hour would take me all day if I could figure it out. And it actually took 2 weeks to put this website together professionally. He opened up that door for me, and it was a gift from them. And so I got my World Enlightenment website put up. Incredible, beautiful. And I was complaining again to him how, it's really easy to do World Enlightenment when you have money, but when you don't, it's more of a challenge. So he donated some money. And I'm going to tell you how much. Now, remember, this guy's a billionaire. And remember controlled opposition. Now, if you don't know what controlled opposition is, this is where the other side will start another group or you'll get infiltrated. And, the people will appear to be working with you, but behind the scenes, they're really not. And they're trying to sabotage you. All right. So he actually donated $3,600 so I could put that into promoting. Now, when you are used to working with nothing, with no budget, that's a lot of money. So I was thrilled, I took it, and then, I put it toward enlightenment. Now, controlled opposition is, it's like you gave me money, which made you feel better, I'm sure, and made me feel really good, but it wasn't anything really that could change anything. And yet we still went through with the enlightenment, and we did have a major shift despite it all. Now, I even backed down on some of my light work during that time. And again, I had magic being done. And I was also putting all my hopes in, hoping this person would step in and use his sources for world enlightenment. And we could shift it just like that. And you know what happened? The time come, nothing. He did nothing. He did nothing. And that is called controlled opposition. You pretend like you're going to do something and you don't. But that's his karma, He betrayed me. But to the WEF and that program, spot on, dude. Spot on. Now, our relationship kind of started going downhill before this. And now, actually, with enlightenment happening, I can see clearer. And spirit is starting to put in my path some of the things this man has done. And, I'm not looking for it. Friends will go, oh, look at this. Look at this. Look what he did over here. And it's like, okay. And actually, now I've got a business and I create Angelite, which is a pretty incredible product. I've been waiting for God to bring me an investor all these years, and I'm not going to take any investor. And I never pitched this guy because I didn't know where he was at. Because I need someone that is a really philanthropist and isn't greedy and is doing world work and actually walking the talk. So Spirit had me send him a plate, and when he got it, he actually had to send it to his office which was being built, and he couldn't even use it. And that said something. But again, I've having energy work and magic put over me, so I couldn't really see it. I thought it was really interesting that he couldn't see it, but so what? That's just how it was. Some people can feel it, some people can't, some people use it. Most people use it, especially when it's a gift and it's such an incredible tool. But whatever. Okay. That's on him and not on me. So Spirit really started to put what he is really doing on the planet. And I started calling him out on it, which he got angry. Rightfully so. Or not, because he never denied anything. That's the thing. And at one point, he actually asked me to stop being mean to him because nobody talks like this to him except me. And to please stop being mean to him. Well, as far as I'm concerned, he didn't say also that he wasn't responsible for any of the things I called him on. And I'm sure he's in his own little protective bubble that nobody talks to him like this or calls him on his stuff. Why would they? They're afraid of him. He's a powerful man. And if they're doing business with him, he can take it away in a heartbeat. I don't care. All right? I'm out of debt. I'm in a really good place. I'm not money hungry. I'm not young anymore. I'm not ambitious like I used to be. I have a happy life. I'm semi-retired. If it's going to happen for me, it'll happen. I'm not going to push it. You know what I mean? So after I called him on it and he did that, he started questioning my sanity. Now I've been around enough manipulating men to know when they start turning it on you that things are really going south. And first he wanted to know that if I had problems with my brothers. Well, no. I mean, if you would ask that 10 years ago, I would have said, yeah, but haven't talked to him in years. And actually, what's going on is my personality. I am a Leo on the cusp of Cancer, which means I can go from the warrior goddess to the romantic wimp in a heartbeat. Okay. So the next thing he kind of implied was, oh, sounds like you're bipolar. No, okay. To go from a warrior goddess to, oh my heart, a romantic wimp is not bipolar, it's human. Bipolar is going from the real highs to the real lows and hitting the lows. And I did that in my 20s. Been there, done that. I don't do that anymore. It's just me. It's my personality. You make me go ghetto, I'll go ghetto. Okay? But when you're going to start turning it on me and trying to manipulate me again to make it look like I'm attacking you because I'm the bad person and all has to be on me, that's a form of manipulation and distraction. Now, look at what's over here and not what I'm doing because you're the bad person, even though I really suck. Well, I'm not going to play that game. And you realize when it's over, it's over. And for me, I'm a Leo. When I know that it's bad, I'm done. I will block you from my life. I will get rid of all your information so I can't contact you. It's all or nothing. So with him, it came to nothing. Because I don't want to write him anymore. I don't want to play this game. I don't want it to go any farther south. He is a Nazi collaborator, and there's nothing I can do with that. He chose to stand with darkness when he had a chance to support light. It's his choice, it's his karma. So be it. I have nothing to do with it. So I don't have to communicate with him. I'm not communicating for his money or his power or information. I want none of it. And he lost an incredibly good, honest friend with me. Someone that told him nothing but the truth, which I'm sure is hard to come by in his life. But I don't care anymore. So after I did that and we had our little, argument, and he called me bipolar, I decided not to contact him anymore. And of course, I just got rid of all the information. And the next day, my dog got into poison. Now, when people get angry, and I really believe this person was really angry, and I also believe that he wasn't trying to hurt or harm me anyway. He was just angry. But when you're a powerful magician, anger can manifest in many, many ways. And my dog took the hit for me and she got into poison. Now she's okay. I was able to fix her up. Whoops. I was able to fix her up and make her feel better, and she is really okay. So now on that day where she got into the poison that night, someone grabbed my hand, like it hurt like heck. Now, if you had a board and, just slapped it on your hand as hard as you could, that's what it felt like. Okay. I'm very, I can feel stuff. But that was obvious. And that night I'm going, oh my God, okay, someone's really angry. Tiana got into poison. Someone is, just really getting into, trying to hurt me. Now, who did I piss off lately? And I went, oh my God, okay, so and so, that's who I pissed off. Now, what am I going to do? I've just deleted him from everything, and I have to break this anger. So Spirit told me of one way I could do it, of which I did contact him and just told him I forgive him, I love him, I understand his anger, and I hope he stays connected to the Creator. And that broke it. And I meant it as much as he told me he loved me and he forgave me for my whatever. All right, my discussions with him. So now, as time goes by, Spirit's putting in front of my face controlled opposition. And I have, if you're like me, we've seen enough spy movies. And you start thinking about your past, and especially me with this person. And it's like, okay, who came into whose life first? He contacted me. He came to my store, and I have a hole in the wall store. I mean, he just, worked me to see if I was the WEF material, and I'm not. These guys are Nazis. So they tried to sucker me in and go, oh, let's give her some money and see how she does. See if she gets greedy and wants more. Didn't happen. Let's see if we can talk her. What's she going to do, like with the Great Reset? What does she think of Klaus? What does she think of this? You guys are nuts. You guys are insane. I would not ever join you. Ever. I don't join Nazis. You're kind of my enemy. You are my enemy. And just because you were good to me with one hand, I cannot overlook what you do in the world and how you're screwing the world. And you want to become a feudal lord and take everything from me with the other hand. Am I supposed to go, oh, nice job, thank you? No, I'm not Cathy Suckup. But I appreciate the money. Thank you. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed helping my family. It's been great. This man helped me get a frequency machine, which I am so grateful. I mean, what a gift. And truly, when I got that gift, I just told my friends, if this guy was trying to really get me to be as, really like him, he nailed it this time. And I use it all the time, and it has helped many, many people. So thank you. I am grateful for that, and I will always be grateful. But again, wanting to control the world and put us into fascism and put us on a digital passport and take away our income, you expect me to ignore that? Because what, you throw money my way? And it was a legitimate business deal, mutually beneficial. You received something incredible, and I got a commission for it. So everything was no strings. I appreciate what they did, but I'm not going to play. So they sucker you in slowly. And I'm sure those young people that get into it, when the WEF shows up and gives them attention, they're like, oh my God, look what they're doing. They're giving me special, I must be really super. And then they go up the ladder. Pete Buttigieg is one of the Klaus Schwab's proteges. And actually, if you go online, a lot of it's scrubbed, so you can't find out information about it. But someone put up a picture with all the proteges on there. And Pete Buttigieg was on it. And where has he been? He's been kicked up, to a high level. So these Nazis, Klaus Schwab, have infiltrated everybody and everything. They're like octopuses everywhere. It's unbelievable. And I got to thank them again, because through this person, they brought all this information to me so I could go check them out and see how really bad they are. And I'm not being vindictive. They're Nazis, for God's sake. Nazis do black magic. So I'm just going to shut up and go, oh, go ahead, no problem. I'll just lay down and, I'm sure eventually you're going to hurt me too, but who cares? No, I fight with energy, with every breath. So I put out this energy work, and I hope you will give it energy. And it's real short. And it's if I call to the higher selves of everyone in the WEF, all the CEOs, and if it's for their highest good, they receive their karmic return for everything they've done to the world over 100,000 fold, that it's returned back to them now from every direction, from every place. So be it. So I put that on Twitter, and someone wrote back and they go, oh my God, how vicious you are. I don't think that's vicious. We're at war. Vicious would have been, I hope this happens to you. But it's not. I said if it's for their highest good. And if it's not, it'll be negated. All right? Now, the thing is with light workers, we've got to fight fair. We cannot accrue negative karma. The dark side, they can do whatever they want. They can get as dirty as they want, and they do. We can't fight like that. We have to have some integrity, some morals, and not receive return karma for what we do. So that's my energy work. And I hope that you can do that energy. This is to put the WEF and all their CEOs in their place before they bring us into this digital reset, which they've had planned for years. And this man's a big part of. So I'm supposed to go, oh, don't see a thing. I'm too old for that. If my life was about ambition and money and power, I would have done it 30 years ago. But it's not. I'm here for world enlightenment. And spirit brings me what I need. And I live a great life. And I'm not suicidal. Never have been, never will be. I'm a very happy camper, and I've been given a lot. But we are at war, guys. So these guys are sneaky. And, I fell for this man. I sold his soul. I fell for his soul. But, when a person only shows you the good things, and then every now and then he would, ask me for my opinion on something pretty, what do you think we should send to India? And I'm going, why would he ask me? He's got all kinds of resources. And I would give it and he would do it. Now, that was good for the ego, but that's working me. It's like, look what you can have, all these wonderful things, all this money, and we'll give you power. And aren't we wonderful? And all you have to do is look away when we do something bad. Well, I can't, because if I looked away, I would be as complicit as you are. And being complicit means turning a blind eye so you can do your evil works and not saying anything. And I can't do that. I would rather not have you in my life. And what really hurts is I've known this man's soul. We have had past lives together, and we've always worked as a team for light. And this is the first lifetime that we've been on opposite sides. He stands with the dark side, and I stand with the light. And that hurts my heart. But that's because I'm human. Do I dwell on it? Oh, no. Like I said, I'm a Leo, and that means when something happens, after a very short while, I just kind of brush myself off and I get back and I just move ahead. But again, the WEF really needs our attention. They're the ones that are pushing forward this new world order. and enslavement and take away everything from us. And they've been planning this for a long time. So I feel flattered because they sent one of their best and their brightest to see what he could do with me. And I tried to turn him to the light, and he tried to turn me to the dark side, and it didn't work either way. I guess we really are alike, or stubborn. I don't know. But that is my story of dealing with the WEF. And it didn't work. We will do more enlightenment work, and we probably do it on solstice. So, just pay attention. If you're on, I can't go on YouTube. I can go on everything else but YouTube. I will probably be doing, I'm not sure what day that's on, be doing special energy work for that day. And we got to keep the enlightenment work going. The dark side is not giving up, and they're pushing forward in every way they can. And we've got to keep doing it too. The person or the group that puts out the most light wins. The most energy wins, whether it's the dark side or light. And I'm with the light side. Guys, if we don't win, we're screwed. That's the bottom line. They will take everything from us. We will have feudal lords. We will be slaved. Cancel, clear, delete, cancel, clear, delete, cancel, clear, delete. Oh, all right. Well, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And, I have to say, I still have a little place in my heart for this man. He has made my life harder because I don't think I could trust anybody more. And I certainly can't trust anybody that just pops into my life and wants to be my friend. Thanks. That was a little special perk you gave me. If he's ever listening, I hope you're proud of yourself. And I just wanted to say, karma is a bitch. Now, I've known people in the past that have really tried to hurt me and harm me and take away my business space. And their karma returned to them, and it had nothing to do with me. I didn't ask for it, but they lost everything. A couple of people went to prison for something totally different, but their karma came in. Another person lost their business, their school, because they had nobody in it left, their space. So, I hate to see what the karma is for these people, It just is what is. Anyway, that's it for tonight. Oh, let's see. Do we have a little bit more time? All right, let's go to Fukushima really quick, and I'm going to go through some radiation protocols real quick. All right. Liquid iodine for the thyroid. Check your thyroid because that's where it can absorb the most radiation. Start adding miso soup and kelp into your diet. I love to do a cleansing of salt, and that could be Epsom salt, hydrogen peroxide, baking soda. At least a pound of salt. You can do more, don't do less. If you do less, then your body will absorb the salt. Any more, it pulls out toxins. A box of baking soda, a cup of baking soda. Again, that helps pull out toxins and neutralize aluminum, stuff like that. Put in either a pint or a quart of hydrogen peroxide in your bathtub, and that's an incredible cleanse. It's free oxygen therapy. Now, a great natural antibiotic is ginger, turmeric root, a little bit of lemon, and horseradish. Okay, that is a natural antibiotic. And you might want to do that once a month just to, boost up your body and your immune system. And for everything, liquid vitamin D3, keep up with your vitamins. It really, really means more. If you're outside a lot, you might want to start drinking cherry juice and do aloe fresh aloe, which is very good for circulation, and cherry juice is good for the heart. Radiation can hit your heart, okay? It hits the organs in the body. So all these children that have been given the you know what and are having heart trouble, it could also be their heart has been already affected by the radiation in the air from Fukushima. But nobody talks about Fukushima. You know, it's really sad. But you have to remember it is happening, so you can do extra cleansing, guys. Coconut oil, which is it's anti-cancerous and antifungal. And actually, coconut oil, if you ingest it, if you're anorexic, you will take like 2 tablespoons of coconut oil a day. That'll help get your appetite up. If you want to lose weight, you take 3 to 4 spoonfuls of coconut oil, and that will actually help you lose the weight and pull out and help you release the fungus in the body. Next week, and actually, guys, Google it. Google, some other protocols for radiation. Apple pectin is really great. I buy that in 3 or 4 bottles at a time because I want to have it on hand, just because I know the radiation is really high. But do it, Google it, or whatever search engines you do, and check out healing protocols that protect you from radiation. Next week, we're going to talk about 5G. I'm going to have Julie Levine on, and she's a friend of mine, and she's quite an activist with 5G and what's happening on that end. So that should be an exciting show. So thanks for listening tonight. I didn't want to talk about what I did, but I thought, if you had an insight to how the WEF manipulates you or manipulates people, we can have a little bit more compassion. Now, I don't have a lot of compassion with Nazi collaborators, but I do, in a way, especially when they've been manipulated. So, again, thank you for tuning in. And next week, like I said, we're going to talk more about 5G and the world of electronics. So this is Cathy Bilsky, the Quantum Leap, Let Light Unite show on UPRN Radio. And this is Friday night, March 11th, 2022. I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope Spirit sends you some of your heart's desires. And if there are people around you that have any ill intent of hurting or harming or sabotaging you, I'm going to ask that their higher selves reveal themselves to you so you see them and you're able to gently remove them out of your life. All right, on that note again, this is Cathy Bilsky, the Quantum Leap, Let Light Unite show on UPRN Radio. And this is March 11th, 2022, and we'll catch you next week. Aloha.